Well, hello there, everyone. You hear talk about right here is like for easy to say than done, and basically that what does it usually mean whenever we say that? And you're like Warren, to where really, I'm like anybody that may have heard that before that you're like Warren. Is it maybe basically the same as like what you call getting carried away about something? But on your hand, that the way some people that more likely that whenever they say that or use that word, it's like easy to say than done. And really, that sounds a lot like to where that if anybody were to be reading the directions and then they kind of picture in their mind about what they got to do first before that they actually get into that which called that typical challenge. And let's just say if it's going to be reading a book or maybe studying and then maybe if it's going to a meeting or anything like that, and you're like Warren to where that they tell you about what needs to be done and how it needs to be done, and as well as for any other type of situation is that talk about like this, like an oh yeah you can handle it, oh yeah I've done it before, this is it's not that complicated, I'm sure I can do it no problem, but I'm sure anybody probably say, yeah, for a brand new grade book, and you're like Warren to where that maybe the brand new grade book that you're like Warren to where that yeah that they basically say is to where that if one of our jobs was to be us like to where that with the book is to review it and then let them know about anything that concern, as well as to make a if it's going to be making copies for anybody or anything like that, anything that's related to any important documents such as maybe jobs or anything like that. But I know that I can maybe think of a number of examples, of course, such as maybe job applications and interviews, stuff like that. But just to kind of make this about maybe 45-minute or so activity right here is I would hit add right here is like the date right here that let's just say that if somebody gave you work to do and they say that they want it done within about 2 or 3 days, within 48 hours, and you say that, oh yeah, I can do that, no problem. Yep, I'll have it to you by tomorrow or whichever, and then by the time it's like you actually turn a few pages and then you look over the directions and then it seems like to where that things that just start going I don't know if I say out of control, but then on your hand too, to where unexpected situations come up to where maybe that oh something that went on to where you couldn't get done right away, and anybody that may think that well really that besides maybe vacation plans, it could be maybe the taxes or anything like that, but thinking about, I'm like, yeah, that if it's going to be, if we're talking about maybe schoolwork or something, but that's right here is like the first page right here, and then the second page would show right here is like if we were to turn the page, and you see right here is I would hit and post it right here is like the direction, like if we want to call it like the encyclopedia or something like that, encyclopedia, but what you have right here are these stars right here, and it says, for please read, study, read carefully. So whenever we look at these, and you're all thinking about, I'm like, from the first and second page, and maybe the third page, to where that this may seem like just turning page after page, and this may seem like, oh yeah, it should only take about 15 minutes, if anything. That we'll go ahead and read over the paperwork and anything like a job application. So you're like thinking about is to where that whenever you study and then you're like oh yeah, it should only take about 15-20 minutes, or it should only take 2 days, and then that wind up being longer. So it's like just like maybe like a doctor's note or anything like that, is to where you're like Warren, to where easy to say than done, huh? But really, I'm like, what does that basically mean? And it seems like to where anything that we may assume that anything that we were told maybe by the insurance company or anything like that, and I think about, even though that they may say that that yeah, something that only would take only about maybe 30 minutes, maybe less than an hour to complete it or to work it or to process it, whichever. And I'm like, yeah, that anybody wonders to where why would you pick a grade book as an example? Maybe a job application. Job application may be a good example, as well as maybe filling out mortgage papers or tax files or anything like that. But I know that I know which those type of examples would more likely take about maybe 15 minutes or so of my time. But just to kind of get to the main point is to where that whenever we're getting ready to work on something is that yeah, is to really to study about what we need to do, and especially that if we've worked these before, to where if we've ever filled out information, if it's related to like FAFSA paperwork or anything like that. And usually that whenever we sign the forms after completing the paperwork, a lot of times they ask you to sign and date something, and usually the date only takes about 30 seconds or so. But if there's a time to where anybody would probably say that, yeah, just sign a date. Oh, okay, well that should only take about 30 seconds. And if there's a time for it takes up to 3 minutes, and you're like Warren, to where yeah, we're trying to get the pen to work, or trying to get the if it's going to be trying to attach it on an email or something like that, any type of technical problems or anything like that, to where it takes a little bit longer. So I don't know. I'm like, really, that what does it basically mean? Is like anybody say that, yeah, you think you'll be able to handle it? Do you think that you have enough time? And so it seems like to where hope for the best. It just seems like to where a lot of times anybody might say is like between right and wrong answers, to where thinking about, yep, I guess the things that mainly just to keep in mind is to where is just thinking about is like between positive and negative, to where I will do my best. We'll see what happens. We'll work hard. We'll do our best, but and then be able to say, yep, you think you'll have it done by tonight? Do you think you'll have it done by this evening? Let's just say if it's 8 a.m. and then people want it done within 5 hours. You think you'll be able to have it done in 5 hours? Oh yeah, sure, no problem. And after 5 hours, and you still may not be done with everything. So you're like Warren, to where that really, do people have the habit of saying that even though if nothing's really been worked yet, or anything particular, such as, oh yeah, well, you remember the due date. I'm like, you remember this date right here, but then you're thinking, well, there are some pages that are missing, and as well as yeah, that you read the directions, and then you're missing some things, so it's going to be maybe a little bit longer just to get it turned in or just to get it done. So anybody say about, yep, each star that more like a represent, like say, is like a task, like an agenda, and you're like one after you review it, and then it seems like to where really that the whole part about this challenge is that for easier said than done, is to where that at the time you're like Warren, to where that with the task, to where anything that you're doing, and that you get the idea, you understand what you got to do, and then by the time you turn a few pages, and by the time you look at what needs to be done, it seems like it turns the whole direction around. So, and I know that like any job, where that maybe not every job is going to be simple, but then on your hand, that look at this page right here is like really that if it's going to be completing paperwork or anything like that, that more likely is to where that one form of packet, I would probably say about 30 minutes. So let's just say that yeah, that one if it's going to be grade book or anything like that, is to where that they say on average to take about 30 minutes to go ahead and review the paperwork. If you've done it before, yeah, well, you may have said before, to where I've been doing it for 4 years, I know what I'm doing. But I would probably suggest that yeah, that for anything, that more likely is to where we look at something, and then if they ask you about how long do you think it's going to take, you think you'll be able to do it, no problem. Usually it's like, yep, you'll do the best you can. You'll do the best, and usually that people say is to where the best honest answer seems like is to where that you done this before. Yeah, well, there are some times maybe out of a year to where it may take a little bit longer, but then as well as for any other information, it's like making sure it's not false or anything like that. If there's any errors, try to correct it. But on the other hand, like I say, with my language art skills, it's like you have right here is like I say, I went and changed the font size right here. That I think Aurelian or something like that. The different font displays, but you have right here is my name. Right here is like for easy to say than done, and then along with the date. But other than that, like, thanks for watching. And toss like for easy to say than done. It's like Emmanuel 25.